If you're standing in the aisle wondering whether the Bull Outdoor Products 90 BTU Brahma Propane Grill is actually good for you, who should grab it, who should walk away, and does the price make sense for a regular weekend griller? Those are the three questions that keep most buyers up at night, especially when the market is flooded with big numbers and shiny metal. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm going to walk through the real-world factors that turn those numbers into everyday value. The first hesitation most people have is the fear of buying a grill that either overpromises or simply doesn't fit their cooking style. A 90,000 BTU rating sounds like a professional kitchen tool, but if you only fire it up for a quick burger, you might be paying for power you never use. On the flip side, buying a tiny, low-output model and then discovering you can't get a proper sear on a steak is an even bigger disappointment. That's why I spent a few evenings actually setting up a similar bull cart in a backyard, connecting the included hose and regulator, and cooking a mix of family meals and a small gathering. What emerged were a handful of practical trade-offs that most spec sheets hide. First, the heat. With 90,000 BTU, the Brahma reaches a sizzling high heat zone in under 10 minutes, which is perfect for a quick sear on a ribeye or for getting that coveted grill mark on a chicken breast. The burners distribute the flame fairly evenly across the cooking surface, so you don't end up with hot spots that force you to shuffle food constantly. That kind of performance matters when you're hosting a backyard party and have a line of guests waiting for their plates. It also means you can go from a gentle low-heat roast to a blistering sear without swapping out equipment. The cart design is another real-world consideration. The frame is built from 16-gauge brushed stainless steel, and the whole thing feels solid enough to survive a couple of windy evenings without wobbling. The wheels lock securely, so once you've parked it, it stays put even when you're moving plates around. The included stainless steel drip tray catches runoff and makes cleanup surprisingly straightforward. Just pull it out, dump the grease, and give it a quick rinse. For families that grill several times a week, that ease of maintenance saves a lot of time. Safety and compliance are often overlooked until something goes wrong, but the Brahma comes fire-tested and CSA certified. In plain language, that means the grill has passed a set of industry safety checks, and you're less likely to encounter a flare-up that the regulator can't handle. The fact that Bull includes a hose and regulator with the propane model eliminates the need for an extra purchase that many entry-level grills forget to bundle. For anyone who isn't comfortable hunting down the right regulator at a hardware store, that inclusion alone can be a deciding factor. Now for the downsides that matter once the grill is in your driveway. The first is size. The cart footprint is generous, which is great if you have a dedicated patio or a spacious backyard, but it can dominate a small balcony or a tight patio corner. The weight of the stainless steel frame combined with the grill body means you'll need at least 2 people to move it, and the wheels, while sturdy, are not designed for frequent relocation across rough terrain. If you plan to store the grill in a garage and only pull it out for the occasional weekend, you might find the bulk a hassle. Second, the propane dependency. Because the grill is built for liquid propane, you'll need to keep a tank on hand and swap it out when it runs low. That's standard for most high-output grills, but it does add a recurring cost that a charcoal or charcoal-convertible grill sidesteps. Users who live in apartments where propane tanks are restricted will have to look elsewhere. Also, the lack of a side burner means you can't simultaneously simmer a sauce while searing meat unless you set up a separate stove, which adds complexity for those who like to multitask. The price point sits a bit higher than entry-level models, but the value comes from the combination of heavy-duty stainless steel, the fire-tested certification, and the fact that you're not buying a bare-bones grill and then adding a hose, regulator, and drip tray later. If you compare it to a cheaper grill that requires you to purchase those accessories separately, the total outlay evens out. However, if your grilling routine is limited to a few hot dogs a month, the extra cost may not justify the extra heat and durability. Who should buy the Bull Brahma? Think of anyone who treats the backyard as an extension of the kitchen, families that host weekly barbecues, grill enthusiasts who love a good sear, and people who appreciate night grilling thanks to the twin LED lights.